everyone, welcome to Craft Addict K. I'm Carla and I'm so glad that you've joined me today to go over my May progress. Sorry to say, only worked on 2 whips and did a total of 8,332 stitches, but I have some haul to show you. I have some fabric stash dive and giving you a tour of what's behind me in the magical closet. So I have some things to show you since I've only got 2 whips to show you. I wanted to give an honorable mention out to my dear friend Lydia from Lydia's Leisurely Stitching. I will put her link to her channel below. Please check her out. She is so close to finishing a place of her own, and watching her stitch and progress on a place of her own has made me start it myself, and I do not have near as much progress on it as she does, obviously. I'm just in the little bitty corner. Haven't even worked on it yet this year, so I'm looking forward to working on that. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Jenn, the Caffeinated Crafter, because oh my, Jenn is like grew up to my own heart. When I watch her videos, I'm like, wow, she makes my head spin. But she has some great ideas, and some of her ideas I brought to my channel. Remember the boards? My boards? Mine are much smaller than hers, but this I originally saw on her channel. There's something else I'm going to try at the end of our channel today, or during our video today, that we'll talk about. This is a little hint. We'll see what we can come up with, but I will explain that as we get to it. So check out Jenn the Caffeinated Crafter. She just did a video specifically on how to do full coverage pieces. So if that's something that intrigues you, you're interested in what a full coverage is, why people stitch on full coverages, how to figure out what your fabric should be, how to pick a pattern, all of those things she talks about in her most recent video. So check her out, Jenn the Caffeinated Crafter. So as I was saying, I did, in the month of May, I worked on 2 whips, and those 2 whips I did 8,332 stitches. As you know, this is not my normal stitching, because usually I am double that, almost 20,000 stitches a month. So far this year, I've done 67,971 stitches, which means I am really behind. That is a daily average of 268 stitches during the month of May. My daily average was 268 stitches a day. Some days I stitched, some days I didn't, because we were camping, we were bike riding, we did a motorcycle trip to Maine and back, and that took a week out of my May stitching. So all kinds of those kind of things have happened, and it's very difficult for me to stitch when I'm riding my motorcycle. Can't figure out how to get somebody else to drive it for me so I can stitch in the passenger seat. So had a great trip, wouldn't trade it for anything. It was fantastic. If you are in the group Western PA, Eastern Ohio Flosstube group or stitching group, on Facebook, it's a Facebook group. We have been using my trip to Maine and back as one of our challenge events that we've kind of thrown together, started putting some little small challenge events up every 2 weeks for people to have some place to put their stitches and possibly earn a prize along the way. So there's my plug for them as well. So let's get into stitching. What did I do? The first one, forgive me for the crinkles because I had kind of thrown stuff together. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, the day after my 52nd birthday. I got older since I met you last. But we are focused on May stitching. I didn't bring any of my June stitching out. Hopefully I'll have a lot more in June. But I did chocolate, more chocolate. This is a quick stitch. It was a rack, which is a random act of kindness given to me by my dear friend Colleen and Corinne. And this is what it looks like. I had this on my wish list because my middle daughter Rachel loves Oreo cookies. You can't keep a bag in the house without her devouring it. And so that's why this one kind of sang to me a bit. And on this, I did 4,164 stitches. So I'm going to try and insert a picture where it was so that you can see how much I've done. So this is the top. I'm almost, like you can see his ear in the bowls of chocolate. Like in his tail is curled here. You can see that. So I've done a lot of stitches on this one. I'm excited. I like stitching on it. Sometimes I get asked about these as well. These are called bobbies. You can get them on Amazon, and it just helps because I park threads. Helps me to kind of contain them into workable sections. And boy, do I have a lot of needles on this needle minder. You see that? I need to put those someplace where they can be used. I'm gonna have to snag those after the video for sure, because I don't want to hide my needles. I need needles. I can always use needles. So I'm gonna put that back in the bag. So that was 4,164 stitches. The other one is in my Grace Notes Fabrics bag from her retreat. I had the, my brain is leaving me, Black Cat X Stitchery. She made me a scroll rod bag. That's what I'm going to call these. She made me a scroll rod bag because I have converted more to scroll rods than Q-snaps. And I do a lot more stitching on that. And this is my project tag that I talk about when I give you my little tour back here. When I started it, April 21st, 2024. It is on Grace Notes Fabrics, Lugana. It's called Sarah, and it is a 32 count. And I cannot show you what it will look like because this is a mystery sow called The Deadly Aquarium by Lola Crow. Let me make sure I got it right. Lola Crow. And she has an Etsy shop. She did the Haunted Library, and she did the recent Aquarium, Planetarium. Anyways, let me show you how far I am. Let me loosen this up, because I do have this on the scroll rods. It doesn't let me show you the whole thing all at once, so bear with me a second. I thought I was better prepared. I mean, I only had 2 projects to show. You'd think I could be better prepared. I'm going to try and loosen so that I can maybe loosen enough that you can see all of it in one viewing. We'll see if I can get it to flip over here. There we go. Okay, so I have all of the framework done. And you can see there's 2 seagulls. I have not done any outlining yet. And I have not put the name. This says Deadly Aquarium on the pattern. I might name mine something else. However, I do have the eel in the chest. There's a skull here. This is a blowfish. There will be something else that'll come into play. So I got caught up, and then they had the release this past Friday, and I went camping with Rachel, and so I didn't get to stitch on it. And I'm going away with my husband this coming weekend, so I won't get to stitch on it again. So I may have to do 2 weeks at a time next weekend whenever I'm back home again. So, but I'm really enjoying this mystery sow, and I'm excited to kind of keep working on this. So on this one, for the month of May, I did 4,168 stitches. I am really enjoying how it's coming, and I could tell you the next part that came out was some reef, really bright oranges, really pretty. So I am looking forward to stitching on that because I like those colors. But I was involved with another project for my June month, so I didn't want to switch over yet. So I'll switch over whenever this week's comes out. So next week I will get both of them caught up. So those were my 2 whips. So let's look. My whip list on my board, my magical board. I worked on Chocolate More Chocolate, so we can give it a star. That's over here. And Deadly Aquarium is a new start, so that would not be on my board, but it would go on this board. So this board, we have my starts. I added Deadly Aquarium because that was actually started last month. And Steel City Stitcher Retreat, I started there, and I had 2 ornaments that were started. I finished one of them, and I finished Cinnamon Stars. I have been a fail for Whip Go, let me just tell you that. So for the month of June, I can tell you number 2 and number 25 was called. I did do number 5, which had been called Chocolate More Chocolate. So I have done that one. Deadly Aquarium number 13 was called, and it was Stitcher's Choice. So I have done that one. So I'm not doing, I highlighted the ones that I have done. Sorry, I'm trying to hold that up so you can see my board. And then this is my year goal of 200,000 stitches. And I have, as of the end of May, 67,971. So we'll fill in that. I've been using different colors each month, so I'm going to fill that in here real quickly while we're on camera. And then I want to have a, there we go. So 67,000. I was hoping this is the halfway point. My goal was to at least be to 100,000 by the end of June. I don't see that as a feasible goal at this point, but I'm hoping to get it as close to that goal as I possibly can, so that the second half of the year I have a chance to hit that 200,000 if I get some more stitches in. Which I want to talk about because my plans, I think, has sucked me dry a little bit, because I struggle between keeping up with the plans versus, you know, doing the whip go, and I find excuses not to pull some of the patterns because I'd rather stitch on something else. So I went through today and I pulled up my whip list, and I looked at every whip that I haven't touched yet and one new start. So I had 45 whips that I have not touched yet and one new start that I allowed myself, which is the Mona Lisa that I haven't started yet. I have it kitted. It's over there. It's ready to start. I just haven't started it yet. So I thought I'm going to throw that in there. So 46. So this is where Jenn the Caffeinated Crafter does this with her videos. And she seems to be very motivated in her stitches. And I thought this is a great time for me to start trialing out some different organization ideas, some different ideas on how to keep my stitchy bug alive, help to keep my stitches motivated. I've cut back on a lot of the groups I was in. I've been looking or working mostly on yearly stitch goals, just trying to meet some of those yearly group goals as much as I can. I'm still doing the daily 30, weekly challenges and the monthly challenges. I'm in Hell Stitching in a group, then we're, you know, I'm keeping up with that as best as I can between running around doing other things. So I went through and I thought, okay, 46 names. I put them all on a piece of paper with their person like this, little strip of paper like this. And I folded them all up today and cut them all and folded them all up and put them in this little cup that I had called, it's got Wonder Always, but a friend of mine gave this to me. It's a little camper cup, and I haven't used it for anything but kind of decoration, and I thought, you know, that'd be a great place to put all those papers. See all my papers in there? And I thought, okay, we're June 11th. Let's pull 4 or 5 today. And then each month, I want to pull 7. That will get me at least touching each of my whips if I manage to work those 7 into the month. And that's going to be my goal, is to try and get those 7 some stitches so I touch all of my whips this year. So this is where I re-looked and revamped. So if I do, we'll do, it's June 11th, let's do 5. We'll pull 5. Jenn pulls way more. Okay, so, the first one is Baby Yoda by Zana Cross Stitchery. So Baby Yoda is going to have to come out this month because I'm a Whip Go failure. The next one, Little House Needleworks, ABC Little House Sampler Set. So pull that out. I'm honest, not peeking. And I thank Jenn, the Caffeinated Crafter, for this idea. We'll see if it works. Chung Chu Kuik. This is a Heaven and Earth design called A Rosy Night. I like that one too. So far I'm getting some that I like, so that's good. I stitch much more on my full coverages than I do my non-full coverages. Oh, another one by him, Ching Chon Kuik, Heart of Spring. I haven't stitched on that, I don't think, even last year. So that's 4, and I'll pull one more that we're gonna stitch on, and oh, good. It's not all full coverage. Lila Studios Holiday Quaker. So there's 5 of my whips. I am going to keep these. I'm going to pull them while my video is loading, and I'm going to try and touch these 5 over the next month in June, so that when we do my June wrap up, then my plan is that'll leave us with 41 still in here, and we will pull 7 a month to get me through to the end of the year, because that would be 42. So I might end up with a bonus. So I'm going to keep this handy to the next video. And thank you, Jen. I don't even know if you watch my videos, but thank you again for an idea. I want to see how this works. I'm going to test it out for a few months, and if I like how it works, I may just do this with all of my whips next year, and divide them out and figure out how many I got to pull each month to make sure I can touch them all, because that's what I'd like to do, is be able to touch them all. Let's talk haul very, very briefly. I have I got fabric from Grace Knows Fabric, and it was the fabric of the month, and you know, this might have been a few months ago. Came with a sticker on a pink flamingo. Love it. Color is called Robin's Egg, and it is a Lugana 25 count. You can see all the different counts. She has everything from 14 up to 46 count. She has a website, Grace Notes Fabrics, I believe it is .com. If you're not part of her fabric of the month, you could still, she does not release her colors. I think it's 6 months. You may be able to order after 6 months. It might be a year. I don't remember. She could tell us in the comments below, I'm sure, when she watches. But she does have previous year's colors that are on her website that are you're able to order. I love her fabric. I have not switched out of her fabric of the month, because I really love her fabric. I love the weave. I don't know if you can see it. Probably could see it a little better if I opened it completely up. I love the weave on it. This is 25 count. I can see it easily. I've gotten her linen. It doesn't have a bunch of slubs in it. I know she has fabrics in a lot of different shops. I can't recommend her enough. I've never had a bad experience. So that's what I'll say about that. I know you guys hear me talk about Grace Notes a lot. Family-owned business, family-run business, and just good people all in all. All in all, good people. I went to Steel City Stitcher Retreat, and I did get some patterns, and I have not been able to share with you. So I pulled out some of them, not all of them. I saved some haul for future videos, because like I said, I don't get out to a shop. There's not something local here to me. Western Pennsylvania, unless I'm going to Ohio, I really don't get a lot of shops. So I have Holly Jolly Buffalo. I picked this up. It's Open Road Adobe Needleworks. I just thought that was neat. Especially now, you see these crazy tourists are over there in Yellowstone. I keep seeing on the news where they think these fluffy cows are something you pet. This is not a fluffy cow to pet. This is a mean eating, killing machine. He will run you over. This is not a fluffy petting cow. Leave these cows alone. For all you city people, the buffalo, not friendly. I also got Rebel Stitcher's design of it's called Midnight or Moonlight Gardens, and I kept going back to this. It was finished at the Steel City Stitcher Retreat. I kept going back to it. It's not big. I just thought it was kind of quirky, and I liked it. So I picked it up. Was it 52 by 59 stitches? I thought that would be an easy, quick stitch. Something to do on one of my scraps of fabric. So what the hey. Then I found I got a set of these because I went back on this a couple times too. It's National Parks and Monuments. And I plan on doing some road trips, not anytime like in the near future, but this is places I do want to go. It's the Badlands, Devil's Tower, Grand Teton, and Yellowstone. So it's got camping. I can't show you. I don't think, nope, I can't show you. I can show you the back. I think it's got all of the 4. You get all 4 patterns. The price, again, this is Open Road Adobe Needlework. Here's their website or their email address. I thought it was really kind of simplistic and just an easy stitch. It's all in one color. So I thought, oh, that'll be easy. Camp and Craft Cross Stitch Patterns by Open Road Adobe Needleworks. This one is postcard patterns. And I'm going to show you the 4 that are included. I like the bear and the cabin and the camper and the moose. So I thought, I can't go wrong. It's got all 4 of them. They are about 80 by 50, it looks like, on average. Simple, one color design. Here's some more postcard patterns, some more campers. There's some reverse, you know, some dark color, but you don't have to do it in dark color. This kind of reminds me of my sister and I. We'd go camping together. That's about what our campers look like. Opened up on each other, and look, there's a fluffy cow pulling a camper. Not a fluffy cow. I don't want anybody going in Yosemite saying, Carla said it was a fluffy cow and I could be its friend. No, 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 you can't. If you want to pet a cow, I could take you to a farm that's safe to pet a cow at, but they kind of stink. The Rooster Make Crow. I got this one. It's a Dirty Annie's. The Rooster Make Crow, but the Hen Delivers. And I just thought that was funny and quirky. And I have my director of nursing where I work has chickens, and so she was the one I stitched What the Cluck for, that I never gave it to her. So I thought, oh, I'll stitch this. The Rooster May Crow, but the Hen Delivers. I think she'll get a big kick out of it. So, and there's not a lot of colors in it. Color list is pretty small. So, in my opinion, I mean, I'm just doing Hayes. What is this? 2, 4, 6, 8 colors. So, and they did it on 32 count Asian. I'm looking at, looks like 80 by maybe 110. But I thought it was funny. Anyway, that's Dirty Annie's. You can see that at www.dirtyannies.com is their website. So those are my haul. Now, at the end of the video, well, I'm gonna embark away from the cross stitch for just a moment, if you'll indulge me. So this past weekend I went camping with Rachel, and I'm going to insert some pictures in here as we talk. Part of our camping excursion, we had a deer in our camp the first night. It was our first visitor. I'm sure we had a raccoon in there the first night. Our campsite was all full sun during the day. There was not really but one tree that cast a little bit of shade that we put the dogs under so that they could have some shade. But we were pretty much in all sun. We were very close to the restroom, which was nice until at night when you tried to sleep, and then it banged the doors. People going in and out, slamming the doors. Not easy to sleep that way. But on Saturday, she had the bright idea. This is all her idea. We did a painting thing, and since my channel is about crafts, all kinds of crafts, I wanted to share with you. So we did a painting thing. This was all her idea. That she brought canvases for us, and she brought a big thing of paint, and we set a timer, and we each had a canvas, our brush, and we had the paint in between us. We sat at the picnic table. We set a timer for, initially it was 3 minutes. So we had 3 minutes, paint whatever we wanted, and then we had to swap. And so then I would get hers and try and figure out what to do with it. She got mine, tried to figure out what to do with it. Couldn't tell each other what we were trying to make. It was just whatever you saw when you saw it, you tried to do your best, and you had 3 minutes, and then we kept doing that till we ran out of ideas. So the first time round, I ended up with this was our end result. This was mine. And it started out, I handed it to her. It was just, I just painted the background blue on the canvas. And when she gave it back to me, all of this down here was purple. So then I thought, oh, she doesn't know what I'm doing here. So then I put a sun up here to make sure that this stayed the sky. and started to do a little bit of some waves. Well, then she handed it back to me. And I think she did some more stuff down here. And then I started putting some stripes, trying to make a lighthouse. She hands it back to me, and it's got this brown basket underneath. And I'm like, oh my goodness, she's putting a basket in. What does she think this is? She's thinking it's a hot air balloon. I found out after the fact. So then once I put this top on, then I think she realized I was making a lighthouse. So then she changed her basket into this blocks and added a boat, and she added some birds flying in the sky. So I thought that was pretty cool. And here's what her first one looked like. I'm going to put her picture in here. And when she handed it to me, it had just all these colors of orange and red and brown and green, and I had no idea what she was making. I was really struggling because it was all different colors. I didn't know where we were going with it, so I started trying to make the green into a frog. So it's kind of an abstract, but it turned out really good. The next one that we did 2 minutes. So you had it for 2 minutes. So we learned some lessons. So the second one, this is what I came home with. Started out, I just had pink circle, a pink circle, and a pink snout, and I put legs on it. So I think she figured out it was a pig because she added wings. She added wings to it. So then I started adding some grass underneath and adding some of the blue sky. Then she put a carrot in here, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she says, don't pigs eat carrots? I'm like, pigs eat about everything. So I kept working on the grass, and then I started putting white swirls into the clouds, and she kept working on the feathers and doing some details. So I added the pink tail, and 2 minutes is not long. Started to put a little barn over here, and then eventually we got to the point where we were like, okay, I can't think of anything else. She couldn't think of anything else, and this is what we ended up with. And I told her that it needed to be displayed prominently. Her second attempt that we did for her, she handed to me. The picture will be here. She handed me, and it was all gray. So I put on a heart. I put the heart to start with. And then she took it back, and she, can't remember what she put on there at that point. At some point, I put the blue tent. Then she started doing a Bigfoot. So then I put the yellow eyes in the tent to make it creepy. And then she started doing a Mothman. So I gave the Mothman red eyes. And then I thought, okay, well, if this is the way we're going, I started putting the alien up in the corner. If you saw the little spaceship. And I put some other little lantern thing that she used to always tell me about. Rachel's an October baby. She is all about the scary stuff. If she could tell you a ghost story, she's in her glory. She loves that stuff. Always has loved that stuff. Wants to stay the night at a haunted prison. All that kind of cuckoo crazy. That would be Rachel. So all these weird like things that people say are out there, like the Mothman and Bigfoot, she's all in. She wants to know all the things, the Loch Ness Monster, all that stuff. So I made that her world, and that's how it turned out. And she said she really liked it, but it had all those quirky things that she's been really excited about recently, and trying to go see. So thanks for indulging me in the story of my camping trip. It was a good time. It was hot. It was a good time. It was too hot to stitch, but we managed to be creative anyway. So, without further ado, I am going to give you a tour of my closet. And if you bear with me for just a moment as I do some quick editing, because I've recorded this out of order, it should follow behind this here, hopefully. Hi everyone, hopefully I can do this relatively easy. I'm holding my tablet that I normally record on. You can see behind me, that's my floss storage going on over there. But today we're talking about my fabric storage. So I'm going to take you on a small peek. I have been told by John from Grace Notes Fabrics that I should have insurance on this closet. So we will see how this works. I can get it to spin around just behind me when I typically am recording. and I'm going to give you the grand tour. Careful what you ask for, folks. So, across the top is just extra stuff. Finishing stuff, Scrabble game, a quilt I need to sew the binding on, some painting things that I haven't used yet. Then on the rack, you will see all of my fabric. This is my fabric stash. So you can see I have a lot of fabric, and it's in here by size. So for example, here is 28 count, and I just have it folded, and when possible I had the card in with it so it's visible, so I can see actually what my fabric is. Like this is Sally. It's a 28 count fat quarter by Grace Notes Fabrics. I at one point had them sorted by color, but now it's just more by size. I can go all the way down here to 25 count pre-gridded fabric that I use for my full coverage pieces, and it kind of goes up with my 25 counts. Some miscellaneous. If I had scraps, I put my scraps kind of at the beginning of wherever I switched counts at. So probably don't have any 25 count scraps, but I probably have 28. So like my little pieces, my little pieces I put towards the front. Sometimes I put multiple into one bag, and that just makes it easier for me. If I'm looking for something small for an ornament, I typically will go to those scraps first. Where I got these bags is on Amazon. They come, it's hard for me to do this. They come like this, and it is a Ziploc tie, or Ziploc, like it goes together like a Ziploc baggie, and then I just hang it up on the rack. So this gave me more space than the rest of my closet. So I have in here, on this side, you'll see my little boxes of my full coverage. So on the outside, it shows my full coverage, what I have in it. And this is where my Pecos are, like for Amazing Animal Kingdom. If I take this out or I lift this up, you will see my Amazing Animal Kingdom is in here with my Pecos. So it's ready to go. Whenever I go to pull out Amazing Animal Kingdom, I pull this box out. My floss is already kitted up for that project. I don't overutilize my floss that way. I have some older sets. You can see here some silks for you that I haven't put away yet. Underneath I have I'm going to try and see if I can do this from standing back here and figure out where we're at. Okay, so here I have extra floss when I used to bobbinate, and I still pull from there. Over here is some finishing supplies. I have my silks sorted down here in this container. My smaller skeins of silks. That was a kitted project that I have UFO'd, but I'm still using the floss when I need it. Then underneath there, you can see my sulky threads. Got some rings there for finishing. Some cards for floss drops. When I run out or low on floss drops, I keep my cards so I can make more floss drops. Then I have the center shelf. Here, we'll start at the top. I got my discs for my Happy Planner. I have some ornaments right here. Is some wooden ornaments my sister gave me as part of my Christmas last year for finishing smalls on. So I have a stack of those. And I have some, I call it my Amazon cheapo Pecos that aren't really Pecos, but they're smaller, and I do utilize those for smaller projects. I have my DMC travel set in, oops, sorry, this container right here. And I do take that with me on retreats. It's not completely full yet, but for the most part it is. And I've been able to help people that needed, forgive my nails, that needed some floss to finish projects. So that's cool. Then I have my real Pecos on this shelf right here, which I got from Grace Notes Fabrics. This is part of one of my frames there. I think this is just extra bags and a bin with just miscellaneous things. And I think these are empty. So those haven't been filled yet to find a home. Then over here on this shelf, I have my cards that I use as my project tags. I put those in. My sister is wonderful and had her printer make these for me. So it's got the details that I like to have, if it'll focus. On project name, project designer, fabric count, fabric color. If I'm stitching 1/1, 1/2, 2/1, or 2/2. And any notes I have, a start date and a finish date, and then it's blank on the back. So I can use my little printer to print a picture of it when I finish it and keep it for posterity. But I have a bunch of those that I printed up. I also have some floss drops that she had made for my birthday that we handed out at StitchCon, and I still have a bunch of those left, so I utilize those as well. I have some stickers on my finger. There we go. Stickers on these shelves, and some more stickers, and some notebooks, just some miscellaneous stuff. Some cards that are finished cards are over here in that little container. I lost my, there we go, that container right there. And this just has like jet ink, and it's got some of my bags that I haven't stitched on yet. There's some ink for my printer below, some miscellaneous papers. That's got some patterns in it. That is like a TV tray. If somebody comes over, they could utilize. And I have some extra floss, like this is my pig's, the big pig that I have from Heaven and Earth Design that I'm stitching with a friend. And I believe this is probably my extra for Nightshade. Yeah, those are my extra flosses for Nightshade that I had on floss drops. And over here is a big ring, and I think that's my extra for US Travel Shelf. I try and keep my, yeah, it's US Travel Shelf. I keep my picture or a list with the floss so I know what it's supposed to go to. And I believe this is Sunday Delight in here. These are my extra flosses that I have left yet for Sunday Delight that I haven't utilized yet. And then down at the very bottom, I have a basket of miscellaneous Q-snap pieces and some grime guards down there. So every now and then I do pull out of my Q-snaps and put them together. And really, that's it. That's my organization for my fabrics and my miscellaneous stuff. This was a bedroom that I record in. It was my daughter's bedroom growing up. I've talked about it before. And this just helps me utilize that space very efficiently, in my opinion. It makes it easy when I'm ready to look. And no judgment for all the fabric. I've been in 4 different fabric clubs over the last 4 years. In 2 years, I've been in no new starts. So I kept the fabrics coming. And when I do start something, I don't have a local shop I can just run down to and pick a fabric I like. I'm reliant on what I have in my stash because I want to touch it and feel it and know what I'm getting. So no judgment, but I have everything from 25 up to 36. When I get low, I change my size. I've been on again, off again with Grace Notes fabrics because I get to a point where I'm pretty full. Then I start a couple things, kit up a few things, and then I'm back on it again. So, and she's wonderful with working with people and doing that and getting you size counts. If you change your counts, if you have any special requests, she's wonderful. So, I think that's it. That's a look inside my closet. If you liked being in my closet and you want to see more of my craziness in my craft room, leave a comment below saying, hey, we want to see more, and I will show you more. Thanks for stopping in, everyone. Bye. So I've recorded things out of order. Hopefully my editing worked. I hope you all have a wonderful stitchy month of June. And have a great time with family and friends and celebrations. It's graduation, it's wedding season, it's baby season, it's all the things. I know because I was at Texas Roadhouse last night for dinner with my husband, and I think everybody had their birthday. Those poor waiters and waitresses were singing happy birthday to everybody. So it's baby season, it's graduation season, it's wedding season. It is also still stitching season. So get your stitches in, and I'll see you at the end of the month. Bye, everybody.